Hi there, I'm Michelle the Painter. Today I'm going to be doing something super fun. I'm going to be doing a holiday-esque magical Christmas tree. I am in my painting group. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people already starting to get geared up for the holiday season coming in a couple of months, and they're making their card decorations and stuff like that. So I figured, well, let's just throw my paintbrush into the mix here and we'll do a nice simple holiday inspired, maybe you can put it into a greeting card type of craft idea. The fun part about this is I'm only going to be using a toothbrush to paint. I am working on a pre-painted canvas that's an 11 by 14 inch, so I did paint this with a regular paintbrush, but I wanted it dry before I started my toothbrush application. I'm going to be working with acrylic paint. My colors today are titanium white, chrome yellow, cobalt blue, fire red, green oxide, and Mars black. And I have a whole bunch of cups of water to help me with my cleaning and, my diluting my paint and stuff. So I've got 3 cups of water that I'm working with and a real big towel to help, dry and my tool along the way. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting with just some cobalt blue and white and maybe a little bit of black to have a little bit of atmospheric dimension behind my tree. I'm also going to put a little bit of a land on. Then we're going to put some magical sparkles, and we're going to build our Christmas tree and more magical sparkles. By the time we're done, we'll have a nice, simple, fun way to create a magical Christmas tree. So I'm going to start with a little bit of cobalt blue on my toothbrush. I'm going to have my atmospheric area, or the background area, kind of somewhere in through here. I'm just kind of rubbing it on. I'm using it as if it's like a typical bristle brush, natural bristle brush. I just picked up a little bit of white paint as well, so I can have it a little bit lighter in through here. And then as I work my way up, I want it a little bit darker here so it can kind of have my Christmas tree stand out. So I'm going to just rub this in, and now I'm going to add a tiny bit of water onto my brush so I can get this to spread out a little bit more. And right about in through here is where I'm going to start picking up a tiny bit of black also. So this is going to allow me to just kind of give myself a little bit of atmospheric dimension in this area in through here, and then get it to fade out into the sky, into what would be a nice wintry night sky. And I'm just rubbing it. You can add anytime you need a little bit more moisture to just kind of pull it out further. Just add a touch of water onto your brush. It's looking pretty good. And it doesn't, this is just intended to be nice and playful, so no worries about it being perfect. So I'm thinking that that's about as far down as I want to pull this. Something like that, maybe. So now what I'm going to do, making sure I blend this out as much as I want. There we go, that looks good. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to work on a little bit of a land area. I don't need much for the land. I just want there to be the implication that there's land. So I'm going to start with a little bit of cobalt blue on my dirty toothbrush, and I'm going to put a little bit in through here. I want this to be a little bit darker than that, so I might end up putting a touch more black in this area if I can't scrub it out enough so you can see the difference. And then my tree is going to be here, and I want it to be lit up a little bit more underneath the Christmas tree. So I'm going to add a touch of cobalt blue and white onto my brush. Give myself a little area where I want it to look like there's a little bit of a hill, if you will, or just a lit up area underneath that Christmas tree. And then these two can kind of merge into each other. I know this is going to go darker as it dries because there's black underneath it, and I didn't use a lot of white, so I'm going to just kind of let that ride as it is. I'm going to just kind of blend this out a little bit. I'm having fun with this this teeth brush, and then just kind of let it look like it is. It's a noisy brush, but it certainly gets the job done. So I'm thinking that that's pretty cool, the way that I want to start that. So now what I'm going to do, I like that. I'm going to wash my tool, I guess. So just kind of put it in the side of my brush and squish it, and then give it a good squeeze on my big towel here. I had a feeling I was going to need a lot of cleansing in my bristle brush today. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my tree on. I'm okay if my paint is still wet behind there. I just want some idea of where I want my tree to go. So I'm going to use some of my green oxide to start, and then I'll probably use a little bit of black as well. I want it to be about a third over in my canvas, and I want some space at the top so I can have a nice shiny star. So I have my green on my brush. I'm just going to kind of give myself a little bit of a guideline, if you will, somewhere in through here, like that. And then I don't need much paint on my brush because there's going to be all kinds of twinkles and stars and decorations and stuff on top of this tree. I really just want to give the viewer the information that it's here. So I'm just taking this bristle brush and just kind of scooting it left to right in order to give the illusion of a pine tree. At the bottom where it's meeting the land, I might pick up a little bit of black so we can see it hitting the land, or maybe there's like a little shadow or something underneath the tree. And for me, these type of pine trees or Christmas evergreen trees look like a triangle to me, so I'm just allowing for that triangular shape to happen. I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of black on my brush where it's hitting that ground in through there. I just want to have a little bit additional contrast, so just adding a little bit of black inside that tree so my decorations really sparkle. I would leave the edges of the tree a little bit lighter so that way they have contrast against that background as well. So I'm thinking that that's pretty good for that. I'm going to wash my tool again, leaning over to get it squished out in my water. I think I've got the majority of the black out. Hold on. Let me just squish this on the side of my palette. So now what I'm going to do, there we go. We got this. So once I've got the majority of my black out of my bristle brush, or my toothbrush, I'm going to start making some twinkly magic dust. So I'm going to do this with yellow and white. So I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white on my brush, my toothbrush. Then I'm going to take one of my clean cups of water. I'm going to dip my brush in my water cup and then tap it off on my towel. So what this is going to do is it's going to give me some moisture within these bristles. So when I go to do, this is where we're going to flick, when I go to do my flick, I've got this fabulous spray that's happening. I want mine to have a really bright spot at the top of my tree. So I'm adding a bunch of these sparkles right at the top of the tree. I also want it to look like there's like magic around the tree, and maybe the tree has, it's sending off some extra magic to wherever it's, oops, I just dipped my brush in the wrong cup, but that's okay, we'll just roll with it. We'll roll with it. So I kind of want to have these little sprays pretty heavy, kind of going off my canvas in through there, and then maybe trailing to my Christmas tree, something like that. I'm going to do some more. I'm digging these. I'm going to put some underneath my tree. Maybe underneath my tree is sparkling as well. It's a Christmas tree. It's got lots of magic and sparkles all over it, so you can have fun with as much of this as you want. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to just kind of enhance this trail in through here just to make it really look nice and magical. Yeah, that's looking awesome. Sometimes these simple, easier projects just get those creative juices flowing and really get you excited as you make your way through these painting processes. So that looks, I'm digging that. I think I'm so excited about these little dots. I'm going to do a little bit, if I can control this, kind of scooting around the tree. So if this kind of made its way around the tree, maybe we can give these little essence of these bright rose of twinkles. Oh my God, I love this. Look at that. And it's all just little sprays of paint. Just have fun with it. You can control it if you just kind of go really close to the canvas. You can control, you know, like where those thick lines are going. Oh my God, I love this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a tiny bit of white paint on my brush, and I'm gonna dot in where I want a bright sparkle star at the top, like that, and then I can just kind of pull it out with the little, oh, maybe that wasn't so successful, with the little edge of my brush. So something like this, just some long ones, some little short ones, just kind of pulling that out. So we have a beautiful, magical, bright, shining star. And again, it's okay if the paint is wet. Yes. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put some white sparkles. I want them to be kind of more condensed, so you can either take and tap it with the tip of the brush, or you can use that butt end of the brush and just kind of make yourself a whole bunch of white little sparkles throughout kind of the trajectory of the sparkle magic. So I can take this and just kind of give myself these little dots, kind of insinuating all this little sparkle has a trajectory to it. And then you can add extra little colors to it. So I want to do some maybe pink. So I'm going to wash and dry my brush again. I'm using my second cup of water to wash this. And you can have fun with decorating this as much as you want. So if I want some pink, I can take a little bit of red and white. You can just kind of mix it a little bit on your palette. And this is again where you would take a little bit of water on your brush if you want the spray. If you want the dots, so water on the brush, tap it. So I could do some pink spray, and that'll just give me an additional kind of color within that spray. So you can do it that way, and or you can take it and you can take the pink or the red and the white, and you can make little dots. So again, whatever way you feel is going to sell your Christmas light story. You could even make just little ornamental lights throughout the tree. I think I'm going to go for the butt end of the brush to give me, whoops, it's not pink enough for me, to give me just these little kind of pink twinkly lights. You could do this in order to explain the shape of the tree. If you're losing the shape of the tree, you can do it that way. You could even do a little bit of blue and white, and this will give you just a nice kind of light blue color within it. So you can really just have fun with however many kind of twinkle lights that you want to have. The butt end of the brush is going to give you a more symmetrical kind of dot to it, whereas the bristle part of the brush is going to give you a more chaotic kind of, ooh, I like those light blue ones. We might have to do a couple of light blue ones kind of coming in through here too. These could act as stars, they could be sparkles, whatever you want them to be. I'm going to do some red ones too, red, white, whatever you want. And again, just have fun with this. Make it as sparkly as you want. I'm going to put my head back for a second here, see if it's as sparkly as I want. I think I want a little bit more sparkle in there. So we're going to go one more pass with just a little bit more sparkle. So I'm washing my brush again. I think I'm going to go with a little bit of white this time and a touch of water, just to give me that extra kind of, ooh, we got some pink on there. Hold on. Let's wash the brush a little bit more. There we go. Get that pink off of there. And of course, if you're doing this at home, you can certainly, go and wash your brush out much more than I have. So I'm going to take a little bit of white with a touch of, we're going to go in my yellow cup of water here. There we go. That'll keep it even. There we go. We got white now. And of course, you can make this as magical as you want. Maybe add a little bit more underneath that tree to accentuate the shape of it. Put anything. This is so much fun. I'm gonna have a hard time stopping. I was like, oh, this will just be like a 5-minute painting, and now I'm just enjoying the process so much. I think that that's good. A little bit more sparkle in through there. I can see my tree. I can see all this magical sparkle. So I think I'm gonna call it on this one. I'm gonna sign it maybe in this bottom left with a little bit of light blue and the tip of my brush, the butt end of it. Maybe not. We're gonna just go for an M. Well, let's see if I can do this. An M. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to whip out a paintbrush later to do that. So we're just gonna make this part of the snow in through here with my finger. So I think that that's gonna call it for me. You can certainly have fun, make this your own, put as much snow, sparkly stuff on here as you want, and I hope you enjoy this fun holiday painting tree. It's a magical tree.